Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here to do my comic reviews for the week of July 31st, 2013. I only have 4 comics this week, so hopefully this review will be shorter than my other ones. Okay, starting off my only Marvel title, but it's one of my favorites, Daredevil number 29. Pretty much continuing from what we learned last issue. After Matt gets a moment to change into his Daredevil costume, he realizes that it's not just the judge from last issue that's a member of the Sons of the Serpent. It's also several cops, and the bailiff, and basically the Serpents have now begun to infiltrate New York City's justice system and police force, and also they've apparently planted a bomb which they hope will help their goal in starting a race riot. Well, anyways, Matt's fortunately Daredevil. He's able to stop he's not able to disarm the bomb, but he is able to disable the frequency jammer that the Serpents set up, which they learned from information from Nate, which is why they shot him. Pretty much after Matt takes care of that, he's able to get the entire building evacuated before the bomb goes off. And once all that's done, Matt Murdock takes Nate to a hospital where he tells him that he's paying for Nate's medical bills, but he's only doing it so that Nate will tell him more information about the Sons of the Serpent. And the issue pretty much ends with, and now Matt's new goal is to find all the Serpents in the city so that he can clean the house. Well, that's how he quote unquote clean the house. That's how he put it. And when Matt gets back to his office, he discovers someone's waiting for him, and we don't know who it is. That's where the issue ends. Daredevil number 29 is really great. Really like how it picked up the moment the last issue ended, which is great, which is really nice. Also, I can see that with the last issue and this issue that Mark Waid is now setting up Daredevil's new adversary, which is now going to be the Sons of the Serpent, who have started to infiltrate a lot of powerful positions in New York City. So now Matt's pretty much going to have to take care of all those guys. So that's Matt's new long-term enemy that Wade's setting up. But yeah, Mark Waid, he's doing a brilliant job on this title. I really like how he's setting up who Daredevil's going to go after next and what's going on. Unfortunately, though, with this issue, the story arc about Foggy Nelson having cancer, we really don't get that much. There really isn't much with this issue, unfortunately, but I'm willing to look past that because of the way Mark Waid's setting up the new adversary for Daredevil. I wonder what Wade's going to do with the Sons of the Serpent. I mean, since they have apparently political power in New York now, I think that this could put a couple of hinges in Daredevil's actions, but I really don't know. I'm looking forward to it. If you aren't reading Daredevil, I would recommend getting number 28 and this issue number 29, and that would be the perfect jump-on point for you. Okay, now it's time for DC with Superboy number 22. Superboy goes to a high school in this issue under the alias Connor Kent, so that he can find apparently another member of the Hive who's infiltrated the school and has apparently attacked several students, sending them into psychotic episodes. Okay, really, this issue really doesn't give much focus on the whole Hive story arc, as it does kind of showing Superboy or Connor rather, in a natural teen setting, in this case high school, and he's pretty much, in the New 52, Superboy was pretty much raised for most of his life with an automatic computer teaching him stuff, so now when he gets to high school, he's pretty much kind of a know-it-all, a little bit of a smartass, and it doesn't really sit well, and in just 3 days, apparently, he gets sent to not just the principal's office, but the superintendent's office. Wow. No, I gotta be honest. The only reason to get Superboy right now is just if you're reading Superman Action Comics for the Hive Psychic War story arc, and well, I think it's gonna tie into Superboy too, so you might as well get this to complete your collection. But honestly, other than that, there really isn't much of a point to get Superboy. In fact, I gotta say I'm done with this title now. I mean, yeah, I know I've been. Superboy is one of my favorite characters. I've been with the title since it started in the New 52, and well, now all I can say is that I really just can't take it anymore. I'm done with Superboy. I don't know when or if I'll ever get back on this, but all I know is that I've had enough, and so yeah, anyone else out there who hasn't been reading this, the only reason to get this title at this point is just for the Psychic War story arc. That's it. Other than that, you can just skip this. Okay, next up, time for some annuals from DC. Starting with The Flash, number 22. This was actually surprisingly good. I wasn't gonna get this, but then I heard it was gonna be it was apparently gonna tell us the first meeting between the Flash and Green Lantern Hal Jordan before they joined the Justice League. Because if you remember, in the first Justice League story arc in the New 52, which explained the team's origin, Barry and Hal apparently met before the team ganged together. So this kind of explains what happened to them. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. I only added this because originally I was only gonna get 3 comics this week, so I thought, okay, I'll get this. And it was great. I mean, I really like the friendship between Hal Jordan and Barry Allen, and they do a great job in this story. It's not just a story in the past, but also it's one where stuff in the past affects what's going on in the present. And in this case, we see 5 years ago that Barry Allen and Hal Jordan met as Flash and Green Lantern when they were both working on the same case, trying to find these missing children, and that led them to an alien kidnapping the kids and putting them in battle suits for an arena, for a battle, basically a gladiator pit called Arena World, where this alien Varys wanted to use the children as warriors. Basically, a lot of stories have been using the whole Hunger Games plot, but nevertheless, GL and Flash are able to find the kids. Flash gets them back to safety, and then GL, being the only space cop, keep in mind this is 5 years ago, Hal's still young and pretty arrogant, apparently makes a deal with Varys. And now, 5 years later in the present day, where Hal Jordan's back on Earth for a bit before leaving to go back to Oa for good because he's the new leader of the Green Lanterns, apparently Varys has come to collect, and the deal was that she would let the kids go as long as Barry and Hal agreed to fight on her behalf in the next Arena World, apparently. And so now Hal and Barry have to deal with all these have to pretty much fight their way through a bunch of alien gladiators to get the champion. But apparently, and so once they do get to the champion, Hal gets out of commission, and Barry is pretty much left alone, and his speed powers are diminishing. But fortunately, Hal is able to let Flash use his power ring. So Barry is able to use the Speed Force to remember how Hal used the ring, and he's able to use that to get the ring to work properly. Which unfortunately Barry does have a lot of willpower, but just not as much as Hal Jordan, and that allows him only to create one blast, but it's enough to knock the champ out. And pretty much after that, the issue ends with the rest of the GL Corps arriving at Arena World to arrest everyone, and Barry and Hal just heading back to Earth, kind of having a dude moment at the end. Very nice issue. I have to say, this is probably my pick of the week right here, is because if you're a fan of the friendship between Barry Allen and Hal Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. This is a great issue. I'm glad that, since we didn't really get much revealing what happened before the first meeting of the Justice League, or in between the whole missing 5 years, that these annuals actually do revisit a few of those key points. I think that's what DC should be doing with their annuals, is stuff like this to help go back and tell us what really happened either during the 5 years or before that, and I really think it pays off. Yeah, to me, the friendship between Hal Jordan and Barry Allen is probably my second favorite in the DC universe, first being Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. But if you are a fan of that friendship, I highly recommend you pick up this issue because it is great. You really see the whole bromance between the two guys and how they really are best friends. So yeah, Flash Annual number 2, definitely my pick of the week. Next up, Batman Annual number 2. Okay, pretty much this story is entirely set in Arkham Asylum. Batman's volunteered to test out the security. During the time he's testing the security, apparently the first person who came to Arkham Asylum has broken out. A woman known as the Anchorist, who has these sort of phasing powers, breaks out of her cell so that she can attack Batman. Because, well, back when she first signed up for the asylum, it was just a mental hospital. It was a place of healing. That's how she saw it. But when Batman appeared and started catching criminals, and all the criminals were sent to Arkham, it eventually just became a madhouse, a prison, and basically she believes Batman violated her sanctuary, so she's trying to get revenge on Batman. Needless to say, that does not go well for her. Also the annual did say it tied into Zero Year, only for one page. A one-page flashback that just shows young Bruce Wayne, pre-Batman, breaking into the Arkham to find any files on the Red Hood gang. When he broke in, the Anchorist saw him and she started attacking him. Bruce got away, but the orderlies saw her flipping out and they considered her violent, dangerous, and that's when they put her in solitary and basically locked her in a cage. So, I'd say if you're a fan of Arkham Asylum as a setting, like Batman locked up in Arkham, those types of stories, I would say this is a good story for you because, again, it's Scott Snyder writing. Again, Scott Snyder wrote this story. He's doing a terrific job on Batman. Again, I really wish they didn't really... I don't really think they did embellish too much on the whole 0 years thing, but this really is... But the annual here really is not necessary for 0 year, okay? It's just one page that just, briefly mentions what happened during the 0 year. That's it. If you're going to buy the annual because you like Scott Snyder, and... personally, I think this annual is a great self-contained, Arkham-themed story. Self-contained story set in Arkham Asylum that's really nice. If you like Scott Snyder and you like Batman and you do want to spend, then the only thing that I think that would just turn a lot of people off is just because it's $5. So, if you want to pay the $5 and get this story because you really love Scott Snyder and Batman, then yeah, go for it. But if you're only going to get this for 0 year, I urge you, don't bother because it's just one page. That's the only tie into 0 year. That's it. If you are a fan of Arkham Asylum as a setting and you've enjoyed Scott Snyder's Batman, I do recommend this. I would say either buy this or borrow it from a friend if you don't want to spend the $5. Okay, that's it for this comic review. Short little recap. Batman Annual number 2. Doesn't really tie that much into 0 year, but hey, it's a great self-contained story set in Arkham Asylum. I recommend you either buy it or borrow it from a friend. Flash Annual number 2, definitely my pick of the week. Really like how really like the focus on the friendship between Barry Allen and Hal Jordan. Really like how we went back in time and saw how they first met, how they first worked together. Really shows how different they are and, in a way, how much they kind of need each other, in a sense, and how they can kind of get along. Really, really great annual. This is definitely a buy. Superboy number 22. Only get this if you're getting Cyborg. I'm not reading that, so I would say just skip it. Daredevil number 29. Really great jump. I'd say this is a good jump on point with this and issue number 28 if you haven't been reading Daredevil. I urge you to get those issues because they are awesome series. Right now, Mark Waid's setting up DD's new long-term enemy for the next couple of issues, which would be the Sons of the Serpent. Can't wait to see what Waid has planned. Definitely, Daredevil is definitely a buy. Okay, that's it for my comic reviews for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my Okay, one more thing. Next week I will be on vacation, so I'm not going to be doing a comic review next week. Sorry, I just need a break. And so, I'll probably be back in time to review comics that come out August 14th. Okay? So, that's it for me. Thank you for watching my review this week. Remember, no review next week. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.